101.
Welcome. This is Relationships 101 Podcast, your introduction to a healthy,
committed
relationship. I'm your host, Sylvester Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, Jasmika Wilson.
Yes. Yeah. Isn't she lovely?
What are we talking about today?
I love that little bread is pretty.
What are we talking about?
Compete
or collaborate?
Is it me versus you?
Or us versus the problem?
We got questions, y'all. Are you married to your best friend?
Are you married to your business partner? If so, head on over to relationships101podcast.com. We'll drop the link down in the description.
Where you can go ahead and pick up a shirt for you and pick up a shirt for her.
Nah, fella, you know the ladies like to shop. You can pick up a shirt for you and pick up a shirt for him.
And both of y'all can rep that grind and that hustle that y'all do every day.
Every day.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to choose, because that competitive thing inside of a relationship, it becomes counterproductive.
I was just about to say that sound real saucy. But why do some people make their relationships their battleground? Like, why do we come into these relationships and wanna fight? Wanna be the one?
There's a lot of reasons for that. Let's first get into some signs though of it. Like, how do you know you even in or that your relationship has a competitive issue going on? Because it's crazy. It is. Like, it just doesn't fit. We grew up playing sports, track competitions and football competitions and basketball, baseball. Like, all this stuff makes sense, right? For you to compete, you want to be the best, you want to win, and hey, everybody want to go home with the goal and be champions. But inside of a relationship, that's when it just don't make sense.
I'm glad you said that, because subconsciously, I think we compete without even knowing.
Yeah.
Like, in several instances in our relationship, you had to be like, hey, babe, we on the same team. Like, just natural born leader, natural born competitor. Like, my last name was Battle. So your girl likes to battle. So it's just that reminder that, hey, we on the same team.
We on the same team.
We on the same team. It's us versus them.
And it's things that's another thing that we say too. Just kind of the words that kind of help bring us back is, I'm not your enemy. That's just another way to say that, or even telling yourself, she's not my enemy, or he's not my enemy. A reminder that we're on the same team. And I feel like when you grow up in maybe a household of competition, whether it was healthy competition, right, outside of the house, but then some of us grew up into competition that was within the house as well, and grew up watching parents compete in an unhealthy way, of course, like the bad competition, and watching, siblings, we do it. Not saying this.
Who gonna do this first? Who gonna do this first? Who
right.
Paying attention to who got the best grades naturally.
And when we grow up and get into relationships, committed relationships, we bring those things into that relationship unknowingly.
So that's something we have to leave and cleave.
You gotta do that on the porch somewhere.
Okay, so he not just talking about, the Bible just don't tell us to leave and cleave our family. It's like all that mess, that competitive,
all that you got out of that house, and leave it there, like right on the curb out there. You know what I'm saying? Mondays and Thursdays, the garbage man come. Over here anyway, South Florida. But what are some signs though of competition? Keeping score.
I did it last night.
What they call the one-upmanship. just trying to one up each other all the time.
Yeah, because I went to Jamaica when I was 10, and I went when I was 11. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Sorry, I'm just animating. Yeah.
The jealousy of success.
Tell that man congratulations.
Because see, sometimes we may, some of us are in relationships where, we both may be high earners. Or we both just may be naturally competitive. Mm-hmm. But it's like, bruh, that's not in the relationship though. Like, keep that on the outside. Keep that at the job. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in your workplace, in your career, where you're competing in an industry or what have you, but not against your partner. We on the same team. Mm-hmm. Criticism of achievements. So instead of congratulating, you criticize. You know what I'm saying? Well, what you could have did was this. Everybody patting the man on the back and he just got 5 medals. You gotta be the one to come up, talk about what he did wrong and what he could have did right. Not you. Just not you. All right? Withholding information or help. That's also competitive. Because sometimes we get petty. Your partner's sick and you don't want to take him to the doctor.
Ooh, what they want him to die?
Well, if you're that sick, drive yourself to the doctor. It get crazy. They don't sound like love, do it? But I think once we've allowed this thing to go for so long, that tit for tat back and forth, it becomes a part of the culture. Mm-hmm. And then now, you saying mean and being mean and nasty to each other, it's normal to y'all.
So is that competing, or it sounds like the person just over the relationship at that point?
I mean, it may be, but it came from, right? The competitiveness that started. Like, we didn't check that at the door. So we kept on with the back and forth. We kept on, and then it grew resentment between us. Mm-hmm. Because, come on, if it's me versus you, like, since when? First of all, it's hard to take criticism from an enemy, right? So even if you're my partner, but you're trying to give me some type of constructive criticism, once you've already positioned yourself as an enemy by competing with me at any point, then now, naturally, the defense is already up. And if we just keep doing this same dance, muscle memory. It's like somebody who physically abused somebody, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Every time they come around, every time they raise their hand, they could be yawning. Oh. They jumping, like, it's like, well, golly. Or somebody who's been in physical abuse relationships. Somebody could be doing a regular little yawn or something, a stretch, and they on guard. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a place to be in love, because I'm supposed to be taking something from you, or be able to, and you're supposed to be able to take something from me. That's what friends do. So it also deteriorates the friendship when we're competing against each other. Mm-hmm. There's also an overemphasis on independence inside of a relationship that has competition. So it's me, my, about what I did, about what, mm-hmm. like
building yourself up.
I got this going on. Oh, I got motion. Mm-hmm. Hey, what you got?
Whatever you got.
Instead of my motion is your motion, it's, babe, oh, I got motion. You need to get you some motion.
I'm glad you said that, because that's where it comes from. Like, there's a root cause to the competition. Whether it was the jokes like, babe, you ain't doing this, or you can't do this, or you ain't.
Comparison.
Something open that door up to make us compete. Mm-hmm. So we got to look into what happened. Mm-hmm. Why did we turn into? Because in the beginning of a relationship, you're not competing with that person.
Nah, not at all.
You're trying to win them over. You're trying to build a team. Mm-hmm. It's us versus whoever. Mm-hmm. And then y'all get into this unit, and now it's me versus you. Mm-hmm. When it was in the beginning, us versus them. So it's like, what transpired? We all got to be accountable.
Definitely.
On what did we do or say to make our spouse compete?
What is my part in it?
What's my part?
What's my part in it?
Or
Even
you just naturally got a jealous-hearted person.
right.
It ain't nothing you could do about that. That
Right.
person got to get some help. That's just something in them. It could be their mama. They jealous. That's just.
But then even that's still a part that you could play because it takes two. So have I been duped or have I been connived into, me not paying attention? Have I been connived into actually playing this game? Well, naturally that ain't even me. But if you come at me, I'm gonna defend myself and then blah blah blah, and then now you threw something, I'm throwing something. You know what I'm saying? And now you end up in that. And now you're a part of it, just as well as the other person. And so I think it comes a point where you have to, first of all, recognize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize your part in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then pivot, do something different. Because now there's a cycle. There's a very unhealthy cycle going on, and you have a part to play in it.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that move us into reasons of why people compete. Because we could look at a relationship and be like, oh, they competing. Ouch. He say something, she say something, she
You can tell. Oh, it stinks.
Like you feel it, you sense it. And it's like, well, what's really the issue
That's
here?
bad. That's
we
bad.
know low self-esteem definitely is one.
Right.
I'm gonna always try to outdo you or overperform because I'm suffering in this area. We definitely know. I think that's the biggest one though. Insecurities.
Then there's also past experiences. There's past experiences. We have maybe social influences, right? Birds of a feather. You could be around people that's.
Shall I forget birds of the feather, the community, this nation in itself.
The culture of society.
Women
right?
run. Women
and you,
rule. Kill the man.
Yeah. And then you fall into that women versus men thing and forget that, oh, girl, you got a relationship. You're actually in a good relationship. I remember I had to tell my bae, right?
Who is his bae? If he finna say something negative, it ain't me.
Listen.
If it's good, it's me.
I remember I had to remind her, like, hey, you ain't no baby mama now. Like you ain't no single baby mama. Like so it's certain things that because you got friends that may be single parents or baby mamas, and y'all, may have certain vocabulary and that y'all use when y'all talking to each other. Like I think I might have heard something that just sounded real baby mama-ish. And it's like, well, that ain't you. That ain't your life. Like, that ain't, you can leave that outside because that's not you. So I think the society, the social influences does make a big difference with that too. Because a lot of y'all, that ain't even y'all life. But you inside of a committed relationship, a good one too, but you acting like you've taken on certain traits of people who are in bad relationships and it's toxic and they're competing against one another. That don't mean you gotta be that way with your man.
That wasn't too bad, y'all. I'm bae.
Oh, now you bae?
Well,
now you bae?
I didn't know what the blow was about to be. But I'm assuming I probably said something pertaining to the kids like it was just mine. But I don't think that was a competing for placement. I just think my motherly, I don't know, I'm not even gonna make an excuse for it.
We don't even remember what you said, but it was one of them things to where, dang, that's something that like a single, something somebody in a different situation would say or respond. Okay. And it's like, even when it comes to competition, you could be bringing that into your relationship when that ain't even really like you're creating that energy in your relationship. And you don't even have that type of relationship.
Right. I guess one that we can bring that's more recent in our life, like we pay attention to the vocabulary of I and we. Like I did this. No, it's we did this. Like it don't matter who accomplished it. We try to fix our vocabulary to say we. We did this. We accomplished this. We got the loan. Even if one person got the loan for it, it's we. So,
we got paid today.
We got paid today.
You know what I'm saying?
We got paid. But yeah, just being intentional, intentional about the
Definitely.
vocabulary.
And some other reasons, right, would be what? Fear of outshone, of being outshone. Like somebody, looking better than you. You got the desire.
Good.
Exactly. That's the attitude you gotta have. But then you got some people who, they have a desire for validation.
You make money, I make money.
You know what I'm saying? They have a desire to be validated. And so they're sticking their chest out, and they always trying to one up because say something like tell me I'm doing my thing.
That mean that person is not complimenting enough.
It could, yeah.
If this person always
that's the part they play. That's okay.
Trying to
when you talk about
it's what you're not doing. Are you not giving enough compliments? Like, why is there a tug? Like, why is there a fight?
Right. And so, like we said, that's two parts in it. Somebody could be not giving enough compliments, and then somebody could be insecure. So, if it's an issue with the insecurity, then you gotta do the work to actually feel good about yourself, regardless of what somebody's saying. However, there still should be compliments going on inside of the relationship. If there is none, then you telling me zero, or you telling me the very minimum. Like, no, that's not good enough to sustain a healthy relationship without those compliments, without that affirmation, without that encouragement.
And that's where they can get competition misread. If you're not complimenting me, why? And that goes back to the withholding. You could be doing so great, but because you're not filling my tank, selfishly,
I'm not gonna feel yours.
I'm not gonna feel yours.
Yeah.
So then you feel like I'm your enemy or I'm jealous, and I'm really not. It's just you're not pouring into me. Why shall I pour into you? Not the way to think, but it's reality.
Right.
Like, why should she?
And it could be as simple as, I ain't saying it's easy, but simple though. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, there's a way it could be done. You may have to put your pride aside.
Yeah.
Right? That's what makes it hard and not easy. But it's simple because there is a way that it could be done. That's what makes it simple. If it wasn't no way to make it to get it done, then that's impossible. But there's a way to get it done, and there's always steps to something. And so what may be the hardest is, like I say, putting your pride aside, humbling yourself, being transparent, being vulnerable, right, with the person that you're with, enough to at least have that conversation and let them know what's going on and what you're feeling. Like, listen, I think I'm dealing with some insecurity, and I need validation. I need that. Like, I don't get it. And on the other end of that, we don't be thinking all the time, y'all. We human. So the other person might hit them with well, you need to tighten up. well, what you gonna do? I mean, that's a you problem. Sound like a you problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to work on yourself then if you insecure. What they got to do with me? Well, it's like that may not have anything to do with you as far as them being insecure, but you're either helping or you're hurting. Like, ain't no in between. Helping or hurting, right? Competing or
collaborating.
You feel me? So, what are you doing? Whose team are you on? For you to just tell me, oh, because my cleats broke, right? That sounds like a you problem. Well, we ain't gonna win the game if I ain't got a shoe to play in. So a real team player say, you know what? We wear the same side. Here you go. Wear mine. Even if we don't, just tie this one up real tight. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of us winning. Because a win for me is a win for you. And I'm gonna do whatever in my power to make sure that you're winning.
If they're in a relationship that's like that. Because some relationships are, their win is their win.
Oh yeah, that's the healthy thing.
That's the unhealthy thing. That
what?
The person's win is just their win.
Oh yeah. The me. Yeah.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So that breeds competition too. Like, oh, okay, he making money. Let me go make my own money since I
Right.
can't know where his money going or what he doing.
Yeah.
We're not for that community.
Well, I made X amount of money last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still making that?
That's foolish.
Like, that's crazy talking to your partner like that, though. Like,
Foolish.
making them feel small about what they're making versus what you're making, and then now y'all gonna compete on that level. No, let's compete about how much we could love each other. Let's compete about gift giving or some form of love language. Like, let's compete. Let's see who can speak each other's love language the most or the best or the loudest.
I gotta speak for my women, babe, because they be calling me.
That's what you here for, babe.
They be calling me privately.
Speak for them.
Thanking them for saying what I'ma say. Don't make your spouse feel like she gotta compete for your attention. That breeds competition in a relationship. If you're outside complimenting other women, encouraging other women, congratulating other women, but at home your spouse is going hard and you're not congratulating them, you're gonna foster competition. She may not be competing with you solely, but she's gonna compete with that outside source, and it's gonna mess up that house. Y'all first. It's us versus whatever. Us versus whoever, except the Lord, because we won't win. But it's us versus the problem. So if you want peace in your house, be peace. If you don't want competition, do a self-reflection and say, how am I contributing to this competition?
Okay.
Or how am I enabling this person to be so competitive? If you see them competing with family members, check them on the spot.
Yeah.
Why are you competing with your sister?
Right.
That spirit just bang. That's
I'm lit. What you mean?
You're like,
You speaking for the ladies. I'm listening for the fellas.
That spirit is gonna jump on y'all, and that competition gonna be there.
Exactly.
So one thing I love about our union, he don't let me compete with nothing outside, nobody outside, because he believe you entertain that, it's gonna creep up in here and walk in my house.
It's gonna, yeah.
Don't try to get your hair like this or your nails like this or outfit like this or go here because this person did it. Because then before we know it, you gonna be looking at me trying to figure out, oh, he got new shoes, I gotta get just So just check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. Is she competing with you because she's competing for your attention?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a good one. I like it. And the same go for the fellas. Let me speak for the fellas. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna be your amen.
Let me speak for the fellas. Because it goes both ways.
Let's go.
You got some fellas out there that's longing for that attention. You know what I'm saying? For a certain level of attention. You know what I'm saying? So when they not getting that, then they human just like the female. It's not a female or male thing to me. It's a person thing. If that's what they're missing, then God forbid somebody starts speaking their language. You know what I'm saying? They love language and filling their tank. Then they're getting pulled away. You know what I'm saying? And then you wondering why this person is disinterested, or they just start acting different. And it's because we both got a job to do. This is my job right here.
And I ain't easy.
I got a good job.
Nor a 9 to 5.
What's your job, though?
24 hours, 7 days a week.
What's your job?
You know you my job.
What's your job? Oh, okay. You got a good job.
You wanted to hear it, y'all.
You got a good job.
Back to they want to hear it.
Yeah.
We wanted to hear it.
So back to a couple of more reasons why we would find ourselves competing. And we said the past relationships or the upbringing, right? Mama, daddy, past relationships. It might have been toxic like that, and then you bring that in there, right? It may be a need for control. Some people just got a need for control, and so when they can't get it, and now you with somebody that they not just a lay down person. So then now you find yourself steady trying to, they stick their chest out, you stick yours out. They stick their neck up, you stick yours up. And now y'all trying to see who got the longest neck. Now y'all looking like them Africans with the thing up under their neck, the rings and stuff stretched out. giraffe, looking like a giraffe couple, because you used to being in control, and relationship ain't about that. If one person is in control, then what? That's imbalance, and then we call that toxic. Anything imbalance is toxic. Financial stress, right? It ain't that money ain't money.
And life is life.
You know what I'm saying? So, you can start feeling bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can start feeling bad about yourself when it comes to that. Your financial situation.
Or are they trying to compete for titles that they don't have the credential for? Mm-hmm. Like for you were going to school when we got together. And then you was like, you know what? We having these children. Oh, sorry. You was like, you know what? We having these children back to back.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop schooling.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop looking for my hair
because,
on the mic.
Listen, I'd be doing the editing, and I don't be needing all that little extra little stuff on that. I be having that more work.
But listen, you was like, I think I need to drop classes.
Yeah.
And just let you flourish and complete school. And I'll get out.
Mm-hmm.
So you stopped going to school. I went to school. You allowed me to go up into a master's degree. So doors that opened to me because of a piece of paper, you didn't feel that you needed to compete. Like, I'm not in competition with her. Like, when I recently got a promotion, you celebrated it.
Oh, definitely.
Went out about it. It was a party because we got promoted. Like, he get a raise, I get a raise. I get a raise, he get a raise. So it's just don't compete against titles that you ain't. If you married potential, you better pull the potential out of them and keep that same heart that you had when you said I do to potential.
Now, I want to say, what you said about the school thing, that was a good example to lead me to my next reason why we compete, is lack of shared goals or direction.
Mm-hmm.
So then let's say both of us going to school, and you getting degrees, I'm getting degrees, you getting you know what I'm saying? It can get hard. We had kids, you know what I'm saying? So it was more of a tug. We couldn't really
maneuver
like that. There were both of us chasing the degree thing. So like a good man, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down and just do the job thing. But that makes it even. That's what makes it balanced. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We ain't looking to compete, or I should say, we ain't looking to make it even. We looking to keep it balanced.
Right.
Like, I don't need I ain't feeling like, I need to be getting as many credentials as you got, so it can be even.
You want the alphabets behind your name because I got a few letters.
Right. But it ain't balanced.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The kids suffering and all that because I'm trying to compete with you and get what you got and get what you getting. If that's the case, then us having shared goals and direction says that we got a plan for that.
That's a good
babe,
sign.
if you feel that way about that, then look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna stop and let you go ahead and get yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to go back and I actually want to go ahead and get that master's, so I'm gonna go back after you finish.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go back and forth and get it done, right? And make it work. As long as it stay balanced, we both are being fulfilled by what we want to do, and one person didn't feel like they dreams are being neglected.
Which we actually did. When I finished a bachelor's degree, you went and did the music degree and
media
degree.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to your girl. His loans just got forgiven.
Yeah.
Two of them things just got forgiven because we are on the same team. His debt is my debt. My debt is his debt. Sure. But yeah, shout out to that Shane. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, baby. She handled my thing. That's administrator extraordinaire.
Yeah. So that's a good sign though that he said earlier. He was like, if there's an imbalance, check in with yourself. Are you going to school because you're trying to get degrees that your wife got or your spouse got? Are both of y'all in school because one gonna graduate next year, but you want to make sure you ain't too far behind that person from graduating?
Right.
check in on your motives.
Yeah.
Are we stressed, depressed, and suffering from anxiety because we're in competition and we're in conflict?
Yeah, because if we're on the same team, I mean, we got a plan, right? What the teams do? They're gonna huddle. What we doing in the huddle? We making a plan. We got a plan of how we finna score, and everybody got a part to play in it. So if both of us are going to school or doing the same thing or whatever, it doesn't have to be competition. That ain't what they gotta mean. It can mean we got a plan of how we gonna get it and we get into it. But we just saying make sure you check it. If it's that and y'all know y'all on the same team, that mean that's just y'all plan to get there. Let's make sure it ain't competition though, right? Because somebody getting, praises from people and all that. That happened with King David and Saul, right? Some people may know about that, some might don't. But you hear people getting praises, your spouse or your lover, your loved one getting praises, and you want praises too for what you doing. But then, shoot, like I said, don't be quiet about it, because that's on your spouse or the person that you're with to rain down praise on. I don't care if nobody else don't praise you. I'ma praise you, right? So if they praising me, I'm gonna turn around and make sure you getting praise for what you're doing, because I don't want that to creep in. You know what I'm saying? Again, what part are you playing in keeping this type of energy out? Are you making sure you covering all the bases, doing what you could do to keep it out? Sometimes people just have issues, like I said, with insecurity. We talked about all those things. But then sometimes it's because you allowed it to creep in, right? We allowed it to creep in. Not complimenting enough, not like these things, these gaps that we leaving open for that energy of competition to come up in there.
Who Cardi B married to, babe? What's the guy name? Cardi B's spouse. I'm gonna just say that. I'm so far from it. But I'm just wondering if their relationship became how it was because Cardi B was getting all this attention.
Offset. It's Offset.
You think that's right?
Yeah.
Man, Offset?
Is it Offset?
I don't know.
Put it down.
I'm just wondering if their relationship crumbled the way it's crumbling because a little bit of competition got in there. Like you up there, I'm down here. I got to make my name great now. So now your business or you cheating, now that done hit the internet and made you this idol. I'm
glad you brought that up, because if both of us got status or whatever doing our thing, then something like called fear dependency can come in there too. I mean, I'm used to being an independent person, right? A lot of women out there can fall into this as well, especially nowadays. That fear dependency. I ain't finna be dependent on no man for nothing and yada, 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 and blah, blah, blah. My daddy told me don't ever depend on a man for nothing and yada, yada, yada. If you got a good man, then guess what? I don't care what you do, you're gonna have to depend on him. Because he gonna be doing what he supposed to be doing. And in a relationship, there is codependency. He depend on you just like you depend on him. So you can't get away from that if you're in a healthy relationship. Now, if you're not, you don't want to be dependent on somebody who slap you across the face anytime they get mad.
Right.
You don't want to be dependent on somebody who throw their money in your face and what they got going on and you on your own. Or it's F you every other day or every other conversation y'all have because they got an anger problem or, verbal abuse, physical abuse, like whatever the case is. Like, you don't want to be dependent on somebody who is abusive in any type of way or who is bad for you. You don't.
That's why I'm glad in our introduction we say a healthy committed relationship. Because that's who we speak in.
Definitely. And it's a difference.
There is a difference.
It is a difference. So let's talk about some solutions, though.
Yes, let's give them some solutions, because, baby, we
solution time. Solution time.
They talking to me. They talking about me. I do that.
The pain points.
I do that. Ooh, that hurt. Ooh. Let's give them some solutions that you gotta do kind of every day. Not daily.
Start them off, babe. What we got? Right. Some solutions. What are some things we found?
Back to the shifting your mindset from I to more of a teamwork.
Okay,
the same team.
To us.
Yep, it's us. Open up about your feelings. I know it's uncomfortable, but it was a point I had to tell him, hey, babe, you giving a lot of compliments. Make sure you encourage what's in your house. Just be vulnerable. Like, what's the most gonna happen? He was gonna get on Facebook and blast me and be like, oh, my wife want attention and she's saying I need to fill up her cup. I gotta live with you. So I'm gonna communicate. I do it with my friends. I do it with my family. I am going to communicate my feelings because I'm not gonna carry it.
Yep.
Set clear intentions for support. Tell them what you need. Be clear about it. Don't try to sugarcoat. Be honest. Babe, I need this. Babe, can you do this? Babe, why do I feel like we're competing in this area? Because it may just be a thought in your mind, and he or she may come back and tell you, we're not competing. I just don't agree with you doing a move right now.
Can I say the next one?
You got it.
Stop keeping score. Stop keeping score. Okay? The first one I said, when I said the first time, it was for the ghetto people. Score. Second time, it was for everybody else.
The first time was for me because your girl got a little slang in her.
Little slang. You slang something.
Oh my gosh.
Score. All right? Stop keeping score. Stop reminding people about, who did what, when, and how, and all of that. Okay? Who achieved what, who failed at what. Like, stop doing that. That's another comparison game, and that can actually, that's tearing everything down. Just comparing. For what? How you gonna compare the same person? You supposed to be the same person, twin. How you gonna compare? It's not where it's at. Go ahead, babe. I just wanted to say that one.
You got it out. Celebrate each other's win. We said that earlier.
Yep.
Amp them up. Be their biggest cheerleader. I guess God made me a cheerleader for a reason, all of them. Because, baby, I'm going to big you up.
Big.
Avoid comparison. Acknowledge jealousy when it comes up. I don't care if it's with others, yourself. You acknowledge it. Don't let that seed grow bigger. Acknowledge it. Focus on self-growth, but not outdoing. Yeah, you're going to do your individual work, but don't try to outdo it. If I'm doing 20 push-ups, don't try to be like, oh, I did 50. Like, my 20 was for self. What your 50 was for to outdo me?
Right. Your motives.
Yeah, what's your
I think
motives?
that speaks a lot about the motives of why you're doing something. Like, okay, yeah, you're doing the work, right? Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, you're doing work on yourself. That's great. But who you doing it for? Why are you really doing it? Is it to be a better version of yourself, which is the right way, right reason? Or is it because you trying to be better
than me,
than the person you with?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Right.
Say that for after y'all broke up.
And of course, my favorite, seek help. Because some of us probably been competing for so long that it's just natural. And it's just hard to turn off. You don't want to do it. You toss and turn about it.
Nasty work.
Just don't know how to cut it off.
Nasty work.
Seek help. What's nasty work?
Oh, just something it's bad.
Yeah. Get help. Seek help about it.
So what are the benefits of a collaborative culture in relationships, huh? There's some benefits to actually knowing that you're a team. How we say sometimes you gotta, I ain't gonna say sometimes, I mean sometimes yeah, but it's imperative that you create a culture and have systems that constantly instill the fact that we on the same team. I'm not your enemy, right? You're not my enemy. We in this together. So it's like, snap out of it. Like, what are we fighting for right now? And it be the petty stuff. Recently, I had a conversation with my girl, and I was telling her.
I don't know if I'm girl yet. I gotta hear the story first.
I was just telling her, let's focus on the big picture, right? Because me and Bae got a lot of differences. I mean, like, things that are different about each other on the physical level, mental level, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, golly, how the heck is y'all together and making this work with so many differences, right? Spiritually, is where it all works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why prayer always got to be your first response. and the most tool that you pull out of the toolbox. It's not something that you wait until things get bad. It ain't something that you can at least do. I can at least pray about it. No, let that be the first thing you do, because there's a spiritual root to everything that's going on in your relationship. And if you're not attacking it, if you're not fighting spiritually, but you're only doing, I know we give a lot of information on practical things that you could do. This is also practical, right? Because we're more than just physical. We're more than just mental. We're also spiritual beings, and so you have to know how to also fight for your relationship spiritually.
Absolutely.
And that's through prayer, right? Everything has a spirit, right? There's a spirit of competition, and you got to war against that and knock that down, and then follow up with, like the doctor tell you, right? Follow up with eating right, or drinking more liquids, and follow up with practical things, more physical things, right, that you could do. But first, man, pray about that, man. Pray about that.
Marriage works if you work it.
Marriage works.
You can't sleep on this thing. Like, you gotta daily put in that work. You gotta be intentional about finding those things to complement. Yeah.
You gotta be
Some of
intentional.
the benefits is a stronger emotional bond between the two.
Stronger.
Greater satisfaction. Higher self-esteem individually.
Higher. We up here, baby.
Together.
We up here.
Selling. Coasting. Ooh.
Oh, that's cute. We coast. Yeah.
But yeah, a competitive mindset can erode even the strongest relationships if it isn't addressed.
Erode, huh? That means it's wearing away in time. Like, slowly but surely, it's wearing away at it. It's wearing away at everything that you working hard to build, that new version of yourself that you've been working on. Because ain't none of us there yet. We're not there yet. We ain't the person that we want to be. We're not the best spouse. We're not that spouse that we always, that we envision ourselves being yet. We're not that boyfriend or that girlfriend that we visualize ourselves being yet. That fiance that we envision, that provider, that nurturer. We're not them yet, but we working on it. You know what I'm saying? You failed yesterday, get back up today, man. You know what I'm saying? Get back up today, keep it moving, because as long as you keep it, nothing can beat consistency. As long as you stay consistent, you might have failed yesterday, but as long as you got back up and got back in the race, you can't lose.
To try. Yeah.
You can't lose.
Leave competition out of your relationship. Thrive in collaborations, and let's work. Like, we got work to do. Let's work.
Got work, baby.
And we out. Cause he gonna give y'all.
We got work to do. We got work to do. Hey, let's work, baby. We got work to do.
What you're working on?
Oh, we got work to do. Hey, let's work.
We out.
Hey.